Hello, welcome you all. This is Professor Mahadevan from IIM Bangalore. Sujata Mahadevan and Dhriti Mahadevan welcome you all for Navaratri Golu 2016. We will start with the traditional steps, and as the practice is, we have 7 steps. I am just quickly taking you through that because this is a normal thing. I do not want to spend much time on that. So these are the 7 steps which we have displayed this year, which is similar to what we have been doing in the earlier years also. The speciality in our Golu is what we spread on the floor using some unique themes. This year what you see here is a theme on the story of Navagrahas. We all know Navagraha, but we thought we will explain to you a little bit more about each of these Navagrahas. That's how is the theme for this year's spreading on the floor of our house. A few things at the outset. First of all, the 9 planets are organized on the floor exactly in the way you would see it in any temple. There is an order in which these planets have to be organized. So we have by and large organized in the same fashion. So what you see here is the Surya at the center, and then just behind Surya at the back is Shukra. To the right of Shukra you see Chandra, and in front of Chandra you see Mangal, which is Angaraka. And then to the right of Surya is Brihaspati, and behind Brihaspati, the green color arrangement that you see there is Buddha. And at the front of Surya is supposed to be Saturn. We have slightly moved it to the left in order to accommodate Rahu and Ketu, which has a slightly bigger coverage at the front. So what you see at the front ahead of Surya and the Saturn is the story depicting Rahu and Ketu. That's what you see at the front. So this is broadly about the general arrangement of the floral display. Let's look at each one of them in a little more detail. We will start with Surya first. The universe started with Omkara, and out of Omkara Surya came. Surya's wife is Sandhya, and the story goes that Sandhya could not bear the heat of Surya, so she went away, and in her place she replaced Chaya, which Surya came to know much later. And he was in search of Sandhya, and the story goes that finally he located Sandhya as a female horse. You see it here. And so he became a male horse and then got united with Sandhya, and finally both of them came together, and that's how the Chaya and the Sandhya are the 2 wives of Surya. That is what is being depicted here. We move on to the second Navagraha, which is Chandra. And this is fairly a popular story. As we all know, Daksha Prajapati's 27 daughters were married to Chandra. Of the 27, Chandra had a special love for Rohini. Therefore, the remaining 26 daughters went to Daksha Prajapati and complained. And Daksha Prajapati cursed Chandra that he will lose all his kala. So Chandra was very unhappy. He went to Lord Shiva, and Shiva restored his grandeur again, and it so happened that that's how we have this waxing and waning moon, and Shiva also agreed to put Chandra on his head. That's why he's called Chandrasekhara. That story is being depicted here. We move on to the third Navagraha, which is Angaraka, or Mangala as we call it. And what you see here is the Bharadwaja Rishi, And Bharadwaja Rishi, there is an Apsaras who came from the heaven, and Bharadwaja Rishi married the Apsaras, and Angaraka was born. The Apsaras went back to the heaven. Bharadwaja was interested in the penance. Therefore, the child was left uncared for in some sense. Bhuma Devi was supposed to have, you see here, Bhuma Devi has the child in her hand. She reared Mangala, and after some time comes back to Bharadwaja and give the child to Bharadwaja. Bharadwaja taught all disciplines and all knowledge to Angaraka, and Angaraka grows up. He becomes a great bhakta of Lord Ganesha, and he does serious penance and so on. And finally, Angaraka was blessed with all good things by Lord Ganesha. Next planet is Buddha. Buddha is the son of Chandra. And somehow Buddha was not happy about the manner he was born and his lineage and so on. So he goes to the Himalayas and he does a penance, and Sakshat Narayana manifests and then teaches him all the knowledge. He becomes a very brilliant person. So Buddha is always associated with brilliance and knowledge and so on. And then he comes back. In the meanwhile, what happens is in the Ikshwaku Kula, one of the descendant of Ikshwaku is Ila. You see here Ila. The king Ila comes, and there is this temple of Parvati and Parameshwara, and there is a pond as you see here, and unwittingly, unknowingly, Ila takes bath in this pond, and when he comes out of the pond, he becomes a lady, because it is a private pond of Parvati, and anybody who takes bath will become a lady. So Ila becomes a lady, and then she doesn't know what to do. Buddha tells her this is what it is. She prays to Lord Shiva and Parvati and plead for some relief from this. So she is given, she is endowed with a capability that 1 year she will be a male and another year she will become a female, and this goes on. And when she is a female, she marries Buddha, and through them got the entire lineage of Ikshwakukula, the Chandra Vamsha. That is what the story is about Buddha that we have depicted in this setting. Next is Guru or Brihaspati. As we all know, Brihaspati is the chief preceptor of the Devas, but somehow Indra did not treat Brihaspati properly, so Brihaspati decides to go away. You see here he is gone away into the mountains, and Devas were trying to find out who is going to officiate them in all their priestly requirements. So they bring another person. So they bring Viprajit as their chief Purohit. The problem with Viprajit was he was not only officiating for the Devas but also for Asuras, which the Indra did not like. So he kills Viprajit. As you see here, Viprajit is dead. Viprajit's father is very upset that he has been killed. So he performs an yajna, as you see here, and begets an Asura called Vritrasura, specifically with the task of killing Indra. Now Indra is very worried, he doesn't know what to do. So finally he gets an advice that he should go and meet the Dhichi, who will make the supreme sacrifice of giving away all his bones. So all his bones are given. You see all the bones scattered here. Out of these bones the Vajrayuta was made, which was made to kill this Vritrashra which came out of the yajna. Finally Indra makes amends with Brihaspati and pleads pleads forgiveness, and Brihaspati is back as the chief preceptor of the Devas. So all these are in some sense depicted in this arrangement on the floor here. The next planet is Shukran, and the depictions are here. As we all know, Shukracharya is the preceptor of the Asuras, and Shukracharya got this Mrita Sanjeevani mantra, which will help get somebody when out of his deathbed. So this is something which Indra was finding it difficult to handle, because whatever war they fight with Asuras, the Asuras are all waking up after all the fight that was happening. So Indra, Brihaspati sends his son Kachan. You see Kachan here standing. Here he is standing, Kachan, to learn this mantra from Shukracharya, and Shukracharya accepts him as the disciple, and he teaches him all these different knowledge and so on. But the Asuras somehow suspected that this Kachan has come with a certain motive, so they every time make some plan to kill Kachan, and every time Kachan is killed, Shukracharya will use the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra and get him back alive. So this was going on, so the Asuras were finding out a way to get this out of the way. So one day what they decide is that they killed him and made him as a part of the food, and then give it to Shukracharya, and Shukracharya consumes that food. And in the meanwhile, Devayani, who is Shukracharya's daughter, every time pleads for waking up Kachan from all these, but this time it so happens that Shukracharya has consumed Kachan and he is inside his stomach. But still, at Devayani's insistence, Shukracharya utters the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra, and so Kachan is back, but as you see here, Shukracharya is dead. But fortunately, Kachan knows the Mrita Sanjeevani mantra, and he utters the mantra, and Shukracharya is back. But it so happens, if Mrita Sanjeevani mantra was taught to somebody, it will be forgotten and it will be gone. So that way this mantra goes out of use. But fortunately, Kachan is back, and Shukracharya is also back. That's how is the story, and we have put some of those depictions here in this arrangement. Next planet is Saturn. As we all know, this is the only planet which is called Sanishwara. So the question is, how did Saturn get the Ishwara? So here is Saturn, who is, as you see here, this is Saturn, and he gets the Ishwara title by no less than Lord Shiva. But Lord Shiva at some stage wanted to really check what he is up to. So he disguises himself inside a donkey for about 7.5 minutes. As you see here, here is a donkey in which Lord Shiva is disguising himself. After 7.5 minutes, he comes out and asks Saturn that you have not been able to find me. And in reply, Saturn said, the very fact that I have been part of it is the reason why you have hidden yourself for 7.5 minutes. And it is a strange coincidence that the 7.5 minutes is the 7.5 years for human beings, in which we have Saturn's sway, as astrology says. The story goes further that Ravana catches Saturn and then puts him in the prison, and Hanuman comes for his rescue. That is one part of the story which we find in with respect to Saturn, and that is being depicted here. It may be worthwhile to mention here that Yama and Shanishwara are brothers, while Shanishwara keeps track of people who are living, and Yama takes care of them at death and beyond. We come to the last set of planets, Rahu and Ketu, This is a very popular story which we all know, which is Samudra Matana, out of which Rahu and Ketu came. So we know this story. As you see here, this is the Mandara Parvata, and you see the Kurma Avatara here at the bottom of the Mandara Parvata, which is Vishnu's Avatara. Then you see this Vasuki, which is serving as the rope, as you see here. This is the head of Vasuki, and then this is the tail of Vasuki, which we see here. And the Devas are on the tail, as you see here, a set of people, and then the Asuras are on the head, as you see here. They are churning the milk ocean. This is the milk ocean that you see. As we all know, when it was being churned, 14 items came out of it, and those almost all of them are here. You have the Shankh here, then you have the Airavata, then you have Dhanvantri who came out of it. After that you have the Chandra. Where is Chandra? Chandra is here. So you have the Chandra which you see here, and then you have Lakshmi which came out of the ocean, milk ocean. You have Kaustubhamani which you see here. You also have the Parijata Vriksha which you see here, and then you have Kalpa Vriksha. We also have Uchchaishravas, and then of course we have the famous Kamadhenu, and not to miss, Ramba also came out of the Milky Ocean. Well, all these happened. Deadly poison Halahala Visha came, and you have Lord Shiva who is here, who has consumed the Halahala Visha for the benefit of the mankind. After all this is over, as we all know, Mohini comes. Here is Mohini, as you see here. Mohini comes to distribute the Amritam which came, and as the story goes, one of the Asuras disguised themselves and sat on the row in which Devas are. So she used the chakra and cut the Asura. So the body here and the snake as the head is Ketu, and the counterpart, which is the head of the Asura and the body of the snake, becomes the Rahu. So all those are being depicted in this particular arrangement. This is the bird's eye view of the entire arrangement of the Navagraha story that you see here. Then of course this is the long shot of the 7 steps of the Golu that we have displayed this year. I hope you enjoyed this presentation. We also hope that you learned something new about the Navagraha and some of the Puranic stories. Thank you for your patience.